What do you do when, as a community nurse, you find that so many people are falling through the cracks in healthcare? What do you do when you see that the social determinants of health needs of a large community is not being met? That's what happened to me. And I want to start this journey by telling you guys all the things that can happen when the social determinants of health are not met. I was asked by one community, a senior independent living community. I was asked by Mission Health Partners to continually go to this community over and over again, and I kept seeing people's needs not being met. And I asked myself, what can we do about this? So I want to share a journey about two African American men that I met in 2018 that I followed for several years to try to make sure that their needs have been met. And it was a learning tool for me to address the social determinants of health and provide community health workers by working with these two men. Their names, Frederick and Maurice. Frederick is 75 years old. He has mental health issues that have not been met successfully. He's also diabetic. His son is 31 years old. He was born with autism, and then he was diagnosed later with schizophrenia. And the surprising thing about this is his father is his power of attorney. Imagine that. The father has one place in his brain that seems to be happy and active, and that's around music, where he has an extreme talent. Unfortunately, the rest of his brain has so many mental health issues that he cannot focus or work with anything else except music, 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 music. He can talk about it all day long. He writes it. He shares it. He's on the internet all day long talking to his fans. Because in his mind, all the people in social media are his fans. He stays up to 3 o'clock in the morning doing music, not getting any sleep. What's his diabetes doing? What's his diet doing? How is he taking care of his son? He gets up at 3 o'clock. When we go to the doctor with him, he tells the doctor that he is eating like he should, without us going with him to nudge and say, well, what time do you get up? So the doctor can hear, how can that be? You're getting up at 3 o'clock. How can you be eating? How can you be taking your insulin as instructed? If we weren't there, they wouldn't know that story. They'd only be writing what he tells them. His son had been going to a place to get his shots for his schizophrenia, and they switched him over because of medical reasons. His health care could not be provided there, so he had to go somewhere else. We took him the first time to transition him over to the new place. He was supposed to get on the bus and take himself once a month. He was supposed to pick up his medication and take it. He was supposed to follow up with lab work himself. All of this. So when we provided a community health worker trained in that community, we asked her, we said, can you go find out what's happening with him? And talking to him, because they know each other. You know, community health workers are trusted. They're in the community. That's why we have them. The community nurse can't do it all. So I knew we had to train community health workers to help provide us with that. And when she talked to him, he found out he had not gone. So he had not got his injection in over 3 months. What can you do about that? We have a problem. How are you going to solve it? How are we going to get him to those clinics every month? How are we going to get that medication picked up? So we talked to the doctor. We let them know that he's not even coming. Have y'all not checked? Is this not important to you? So we decided, our team decided that we would pick him up. So I got a transportation team now. They pick him up, they take him, they stay with him, they bring him back home. My community health worker picks up the injection. She takes it to the doctor. The nurse gives it every month. Our transportation person also makes sure that he gets the appointments, and he calls me to let me know when it is, so that now for the whole 3 years, he's not missed an appointment. We can't expect the father to help him. The father needs help himself. We started going to the doctor with him as well. I train the community health workers. As I'm out there and I send you, listen, look, be engaged. Because these people have mental issues, they have cognitive issues, and a lot of them have drug abuse issues. So what do we do as a team to address all these issues? So we have our transportation team. We have our cleaning team that we brought forward, because that was also an issue with these two as well. They live in separate apartments, so that's the two that we have to think about. So when we went in, we found out that they don't clean their apartments. It's not important. That's not important. Music is important. And for the son, he goes every day, Monday through Thursdays, to a college to get his GED. He's been getting this GED for 10 years. But the social skill that provides for him with his schizophrenia and his autism is just amazing, because that he will get on the bus and he will take himself. He's not going to take himself anywhere else. But that for him is his thing. Music for the father. Those things are important as well. And we make sure that we talk to them about it and praise them about what they can do. But we have to address what they can't do. So we also worked with management, because that's not their job. It's not their job in housing to look at people's physical conditions or their mental conditions. It's, are you following the rules if it's a tenant? Are you following the rules? And if you're not, you can get it evicted, right? So if you're having infractions, they can evict you. So talking to the managers and getting them to understand, we know this is not your job, but if you're going to have senior living, independent living, and disabled people in your plan, then you need to at least listen and learn what you're dealing with. They're willing. We went to public housing. We've replicated this in public housing, and we also went into this environment and talked to the managers and found out that they are caring people. They just don't have that type of training. So we train them on, call us. If you see something, say something. We tell people that all the time, right, in the communities. If you see something, say something. But if you say something and there's nowhere for them to go, that's just frustrating. So our healthcare is frustrating. Doctors have 10 minutes. They don't have the time. It's not their fault. That's how it's set up. So we want doctors to come out, follow us. Psychiatrists, residents come out with us. I am so proud of that. They come out, they see how people really live. And we help them go back and train the next generation of psychiatrists. We train managers to look at this a different way. We train everybody in healthcare to come out, but our community health workers are embedded, they're trusted, they're our eyes, they're our ears. We have them on speed dial. They have the doctors on speed dial. The doctors text and call my community health workers and me all the time. 10 o'clock at night, I could be getting a text from a doctor wanting to know something about their client or wanting to know if we can do something for a client. That's how you build that team effort, and that's how everyone can work together to make sure that we're taking care of people in a different way. One that we can have more time. We don't have to worry about the 10 minutes if you're a nonprofit doing this work. You can build it the way you want. And by listening to your client and seeing what the client actually needs, you can build it around that concept. This is what they need. This is what you're wanting to provide for them, and then you build that model around that. And then those cracks become flowers. We're the flowers. So I say to you, in your community, see what's needed. If someone is saying something, hear them. Build around what you see, what you can provide, and bring a team of experts in and train your community health workers to be there, to build that trust and let them know that there's no hurry. We can do this slowly, as long as it takes. Because if we're not taking insurance, then we can provide and fundraise and get the money that we need to do it the way we want to do it. I am so proud that we have put this together and showed that it will work. And I'm hoping that each of you will go back to your community, see what you need, pull that team together, get those community health workers trained, and get community nurses where they're involved and want to do this type of work. Because as a team effort, you can build a community of people that don't fall through the cracks.